Wah, everybody! It's time for some crumpin' and thumpin'. This is How to Wah with Orcs. If you're looking for a fun and good orc list to start 10th edition off right and really learn the faction without having to worry about if your units are going to get nerfed, then this is the video for you. If you're looking for something more competitive, you can skip to the end of the video and look at the list that I would suggest taking. But for everybody else, let's get right into it. The first thing we have is 2 beast bosses with 2 units of beast nagaboys to go with them. The beast boss gives the unit +1 to hit, and the beast nagaboys let them reroll all hits versus monsters and vehicles. What this means is you can throw this unit at an objective and reasonably expect to take whatever's on it off. Whether it be medium infantry or light vehicles, the beast boss with his anti-monster, anti-vehicle, devastating wound weapon will actually put a hurt on most things. Then we have everybody's favorite pirate, Captain Badrug. He's going to join 10 Flash Gits. The Flash Gits weapons are awesome. Strength 6, AP 1, 2 damage may not seem like a lot, but sustained hits 1 and Captain Badrug letting them reroll all hits means they're going to put out a lot of DACA. Combine this with their rule to get an extra shot against the closest unit, and an ammo runt for once per game lethal hits on those 6s means they can put a lot of DACA into things that are much bigger and scarier than they are. Then, no orc list would be complete without some good old-fashioned trucks, just to protect our guys and get them where they need to go. In addition, the firing deck rule actually allows our Flash Git unit with Badrug to shoot out of the truck at whatever they need to. Then, we have one single mech. This guy is going to hang out and babysit the Flash Git truck, so that the Flash Gits shooting are going to get +1 to hit. Conveniently, he also gets lone operative, so your opponent can't just shoot him away for standing next to the truck. Next, we have a hilarious unit. It's Zogrod and 20 Gretchen. Now, you might be thinking, that's hilarious, but that can't actually be good. Surprisingly, Zogrod giving the unit +1 to hit and +1 to wound, and -1 to be wounded, it's actually a tough and little unit. Combine this with the fact that you get to keep all of the orc rules, like advancing and charging, and 6s to hit, explode, and melee, means that this unit can actually punch up. Zogrod himself is actually better than a war boss, since he gives himself the buffs. And now you might say, well, how do you get there? And Zogrod has the answer to that too. In the WA, he makes the unit move 12 inches base, which means you get to move 12 inches and then advance and charge. The next unit is like it. It's 10 Little Gretchen. They're there just to grot farm, hopefully get you a CP. Sometimes that's all you need them to do. Then we're continuing to ride the grot train, and we've got 12 grot tanks. This unit is actually surprisingly durable. T6 with 5 wounds apiece and a 3-up save means they can actually take a lot of punishment. And if you ever try to get close to them, they're going to move away from you with their scatter rule. In addition to being kind of tough and moving fairly fast, these guys are actually going to have 5 rocket launchers. At D3 shots, it's not a lot of shots until you add in their blast rule. This means this whole unit is going to be firing 5 D3 plus however much blast gives you at strength 9, AP 2, flat 3 damage. That's actually a surprising amount of DACA for little grots. Next, we've got 3x3 units of Squigog Riders. And man, I cannot tell you how tough these things are. You combine their base defensive stats of T7, 5-up Feel No Pain, and the stratagem Hard as Nails to make them almost impossible to kill effectively. While they're busy not dying to whatever your opponent tries to shoot at them, they can advance and do actions, meaning that they're going to score you all those little secondary cards that you don't really want to commit anybody else to. Keeping on that thing of guys we want to commit just for secondary cards, we've got 1 unit of Storm Boys just for their Deep Strike rule. We want to be able to drop them in with rapid ingress to attack the backfield, or just to do the random secondaries that come up in the game. Finally, we've got 1 unit of Warbikers. These guys can advance and do actions just like the Squigogs can, but mainly they're there so that we can throw them away when we need to throw a unit away. Sometimes you just need to score a secondary on an objective, and you know your opponent's going to shoot or charge whatever it is off. And the Warbikers let us have a unit that does that we don't really care that much about. And with that, that's the list. You should be able to build, paint, and play this list and have a great time against almost anything, so long as you set your expectation that you're not going to beat Imperial Knights, Eldar, or Space Marines with a bunch of Desolator. And if you want the more competitive list, here it is. The only real big changes from the non-competitive lists are we take out the grot tanks and we take out the 20-man Gretchen unit. We add in Ghazghkull and Mazrag. Ghazghkull is there to bully their elite infantry units, and Mazrag is there so he can one-shot knights and other vehicles that your army might not be able to deal with effectively. If you enjoy this kind of content, please let me know in the comments below, and let me know how your orc games are going and what your orc lists look like. And don't forget to like and subscribe. But for now, thanks for rolling some dice with Rice, and we'll see you in the next one.